liveness with everybody.
Once we do that, then we can actually
start the
actual podcast. Yes.
You guys, this is a very special podcast today.
Hey, look at that.
We have a special announcement.
I'm sharing. Are you sharing? Like, this is the closest we've been.
Here, okay, I'm sharing.
We're very close.
Special announcement today.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so many announcements coming. I don't think they're prepared, Z. I don't think we're prepared.
I'm definitely not, because I can't type on my phone. Special announcement today.
How many of those little things did you have? Four baby margaritas equals one toddler margarita. What? I'm getting them in now because I don't want them in the podcast.
I'm so happy to be here, you guys.
Yay. Me too.
This time.
Okay. Oh, the audio works.
Good. So, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. I am Chad.
I'm Z.
And together, we're the Puppet Parent Podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is episode 23.
Wow.
23.
Amazing.
Yeah, we just keep the Sundays just
cranking
keep coming.
Them out.
Yep. Time marches on. And here we are. This is our first, so we have a lot of important things to talk about, including our first ever, for the longest time, date. We had a date.
We did have a date.
It wasn't like
today.
It wasn't a work date.
It was so fun.
We had a date where we just focused on us and didn't worry about the world.
Chad.
That's right.
Just me and Chad out.
We're going to talk about what's happening in our business side, so the puppet part of the podcast.
And we have a special announcement, so you guys, you have to stay tuned and share because we have news.
You might as well just do it now.
No. We got to wait a little bit.
Oh,
we got to wait a little bit. People are going to tune in. You know, we got to get the viewership up a little, whatever. I don't know. But, you can't just give it away at the beginning. It's like when I saw the band Sponge a few years ago.
You saw Sponge.
I did. And everyone was like, plowed. And the guy was like, just wait. There needs to be some foreplay before the song. And we were all like, yeah, foreplay, okay. Except for the dudes in the back who were going, plowed. So there will be a special announcement, and we are going to make it, and you guys are going to be so excited, because I'm so excited, and it's exciting.
Yeah,
it's
exciting. A lot of change happening. I mean, fall isn't even here. We got a month before fall is happening, but there's a lot of change happening because it's Labor Day weekend. We all know what that means about wearing white, and fashion, from advice from the 50s that turned into weird urban legends about what you can and can't wear.
All I know is that it's September and there's a crisp feeling in the air, and I have seen apples on trees.
Yeah, like crab apples everywhere.
Yeah, like there are definitely like apple trees that just grow out here. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that didn't happen in Leroy, and I'm probably totally wrong about that. But out here, like, there's just apple trees, just like random apple trees.
You lived in a tiny town, but you were on like pretty close to Main Street in your hometown.
I lived in the village. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so if there's not apple trees on the street, where are you gonna see them?
I don't know. I feel like my friend Sarah had apple trees maybe in her backyard, but they were a menace because they would just squish and like cause lots of bees and stink. Apple stink.
Oh, yeah. So the apples would fall from the tree onto the ground.
Yes.
No one would collect them, and they would just rot.
That's right.
Okay, and then the bees would get all drunk on rotten apple gin.
That's right.
Yes.
I don't think Sarah's watching, but yeah.
Hey, Sarah.
Sarah Campbell.
Oh, wow.
My friend from down the street.
Cool.
Yes.
From down the way.
Oh, it's been such an exciting couple of weeks. We went on our date today. Do you guys want to know what we did? We went on a ropes course in Ellicottville at this ski slope. And it was so cool. It was really, really cool. And like kind of exhausting. Like it was more physical labor than I thought it was going to be. But also, I'm totally out of shape. I mean, let's be real. Like, we walked up the mountain to get to the thing, and I was like, God, Chad, I don't know if I can handle the ropes course. Mm-hmm. But it was super fun. Super fun. Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
all the clicking on and clicking off, and like I've never done a zip line before, and that was awesome.
And once you get it up there, there's no turning back. Also, it's like
You got to be all in.
yeah. So so it was a gift. The going was a gift from my dad
And Mom.
to celebrate both of our birthdays.
His parents,
Yeah, and
our birthdays.
Yeah.
My birthday's in August, and Chad's is in October.
that's right. So let's celebrate them in between, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it
Maybe we
was
should
super
just do-
thoughtful and nice.
Maybe that should always happen, you know?
Co-birthday.
Yeah. Because, I don't want to be the center of attention on my birthday. I just want to, but if there's like more people celebrating, then, see, like I kind of want to, like at a party, like I just want to be on like the periphery, like I just want to be hanging out. And I don't want people to look at me or point or expect things. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't want like the expectations, if I don't meet them, for people to be upset, because that was like all of my childhood and going into my 20s. So as an adult, I want to avoid that. So maybe we could co-birthday.
In the future.
Yeah, like co-birthday. Like I like that idea, It's like, it's not just your day, it's somebody else. But since we're not kids anymore, like hopefully we can, behave in a way that's okay, because it's not just your day. Like maybe if people feel like I feel like a little anxious around their birthdays, maybe we could just get together and be like a super team, or just people in general could think a little bit less about expectations when they come to birthdays. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah. Sorry, Alyssa. I know that Alyssa Honeycuts would want to be the center of attention on her birthday.
Well,
because
I will tell you.
Maybe that's just the person. That's just maybe the person that she is.
I will tell you that I think one of the reasons, and Alyssa, you can, people who watching, you're probably like, who's Alyssa? Because this woman named Missy Brodsky just posted, but she goes by a multitude of amazing names, and we call her Alyssa. And so, I think that the thing that sealed the deal for my friendship with Alyssa Honeycutt was attending her 40th birthday party, because I didn't know anybody there except for Alyssa. But I always say, if you invite me to a party, I will most likely come, and I will say yes, and I'll show up. And so I came, and it was karaoke, and everybody was amazing singers, and I was a little in over my head, but I threw my hat in and had fun. And she was wearing the most beautiful blue dress with this red ribbon belt sash thing. Oh, I love that dress, Alyssa. It was so great. Yes. So, and then we've been such good friends ever since.
That's so nice. So you had a really good. I would have felt really maybe intimidated going to a singers karaoke party with a bunch of other amazing singers. Like if I'm going to do karaoke, it's got to be silly, because if I try for real and fail, it's always like,
Oh, it was just fun. I don't know. It was just really, really fun. You know what? I think I have a dream that when I get to see Alyssa again in person in LA, because I'm going to try and visit once this is all over, because I miss her dearly, that we should do karaoke. Me and Alyssa.
What's your favorite? What's your go-to? And chats out there, Alyssa also. What is your go-to karaoke song? Because everybody has one, at least one, or maybe like a variety of. Because sometimes the karaoke machine doesn't have certain decades, so you got to have like a few.
I think I need to actually have a karaoke song. I think that's my problem, is that I don't have a go-to karaoke song, and then I'm always overwhelmed by choice. Yes, because then I'll be like, well, what are the songs I like to sing? Oh, actually, truth, I actually don't know all of the parts of that song. And then I'll
well, they do show you the lyrics.
I know, but then sometimes I get in my own head about it, and then I want it to be good, which is silly.
No, everybody wants to be, and you're performing, right? There's an audience. And no, it's definitely a performance, and it's almost like actor's nightmare or singer's nightmare, where it's like, oh, I don't know this song. All right, we're just gonna stumble through it.
Alyssa says hers is Heartbreaker.
Nice.
Oh yeah, brand new roller skates. Oh, brand new key. Yeah, brand new key. I do love Melanie Safka. All the Melanie Safka songs.
That's
love
awesome.
all those. Yeah. What have they done to my song? Love that one.
Oh yes.
Yes.
That's a nice easy one. I feel like any hair metal is my go-to, because hair metal you can kind of fake as long. Like the first time I did the Number of the Beast at a karaoke party, I had never heard it before in my life. But if you can do an '80s hair metal voice, Yeah, then it's which is just it's like the number of the beast. It's like it's super silly, and they're singing about the devil, but it's it's in this glamorous, silly, over the top way that's like everybody's having fun. It's not a sad song. Yeah. It's silly, and the first time I ever did that, I was like, okay, all right, the next time I do this, I'm gonna nail it for sure, because I was like, okay, I see what you're putting down there, song. Okay, cool.
I'm also a big Patsy Cline fan. I love Patsy Cline songs.
What's a Patsy Cline song?
I go out walking after midnight, out in the starlight, just like we used to do. Patsy Cline.
I don't know that song.
Oh, well, I listened to a whole bunch of Patsy Cline for a while there, and I even stage managed a musical about Patsy Cline. So,
well, you know all about Patsy Cline.
I know more than the average person.
Amazing.
I bet some of you are wondering what our big announcement is going to be.
You can't contain yourself about this big announcement.
It's so exciting. Are you guys excited? Are you ready? Should we
Definitely,
do it?
She's like, and we're done with karaoke, because guess what?
We got hearts for Melissa. Hearts,
Yay.
hearts. Okay, so the big announcement is the special, super top secret project that I've been working on for the last couple months. I auditioned for something in November of last year. Then I didn't hear anything for a long time. Then I did another test in April on Easter Sunday. And then it turns out that I got a part on a thing that's going to get released in mid-October. And that thing is with Sesame Street. And it's I am the new host of a podcast on Audible for Sesame Street, and I play a character named Foley, and I want to show you what she looks like, and I want to share with you this clip because the Today Show actually did a thing about it, and they talked about it, so I want to share this with you.
Can we put that clip? Why not?
Yeah, do it.
All right,
share the screen. This is technology is happening.
Okay. But no one listening to this podcast at home can actually hear.
You can edit it in.
No, I muted my computer.
No, unmute it.
Oh, man. All right, here we go.
Make it go.
Oh, man. Okay, there it is. All right, I'm playing the clip. Here, I'm going to hold the mic up. Oh, no, there's an ad.
It's an ad. We don't care about the Neutrogena.
No, wait.
There we go.
Okay.
Are probably at wit's end after 6 months of trying to entertain their kids during the pandemic, but this morning we can exclusively reveal, always to the rescue in tough times, Sesame Street. Here they are. They got a new podcast for young listeners. It's called the Sesame Street Podcast with Foley and Friends. And it's from Audible and Sesame Workshop, and any young Sesame Street fan can watch this. And they might be watching me right now going, well, who's Foley?
It's me! I'm Foley! It's me!
Her specialty is making fun sounds and noises, and she's going to be joined by the likes of Elmo and Big Bird and the whole gang for original songs and interactive games. We've got a clip this morning of Foley introducing herself with special guest Grover as she talks about getting over her fears of hosting the show.
And I guess the thing I love most about being me is that I used to be kind of, nervous about making sounds in front of other people. But then my friends all told me they loved them, and that gave me the courage to share making sounds. And now, here we are.
Oh, yes. That is the most amazing of all.
That's great. Sesame Street Podcast with Foley and Friends is going to be on Audible October 15th. Probably couldn't come soon enough for a lot of parents. No matter what is going on in society, thank God for Sesame Street.
That's
Oh,
right.
Carson keeps saying nice things. Carson, fellow parent.
Carson Daly.
Fellow parent of 4 kids. I looked him up. So Carson, I got you, man. I'm a host of a podcast. You're a host of lots of things. We should hang. We got things in common. But I just want to say, you guys, sit down.
No, I gotta mute this again.
Okay, mute the thing, because I just want to say, oh my gosh, you guys! Like, holy moly. I'm so thankful and grateful and excited and it's surreal and I can't believe it. And it's going to get released October 15th. 15 episodes on Audible. It's an Audible exclusive podcast, and I'm hosting all the episodes with this new character named Foley, and she's super fun and super awesome. And I'm just so grateful, really. It's been so fun to get to try to do something new, and they took a chance on me, and I'm just so grateful for that. So
chance schmance, you were the right person for the role. You got to give yourself some credit here. I'll pat you. Good, you did it. You did a good job, and yours was the voice that they wanted.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. And it's like every time that we go to record, I'm always thinking, can I find it again? Can I find that character again? And, it gets easier each time. So that's the big announcement is that I have a new character with Sesame Street named Foley, and I'm hosting a podcast on Audible, and it's set to release October 15th with 15 episodes with all of your favorite Sesame Street friends, Big Bird, Elmo, Grover, Abby Cadabby, Zoe.
Whoa,
and
we're in spoilers territory.
no.
now.
I mean, that's, Sesame Street's got a lot of friends that I haven't even mentioned. So I know. There's definitely fun stuff to check out. It's going to be great to listen to in the car with your kids or to give them a break from screens if you want to be able to listen to something and not have to watch something all the time. There's lots of opportunities for that. So that's the big announcement.
Yeah, and Z's been recording right here in the studio here. Thank you very much to the Springville Center for the Arts.
Yes,
man,
thank you, Springville Center for
this
the
is
Arts.
where the magic. So we have our hand puppet booth set up.
Yeah, we're looking over this way because it's right there.
It's there. Trust us. And she's set up right inside there. We used it as a sound booth. We soundproofed it a little bit more, put some blankets and stuff all over it. Some carpet pieces were used.
Yeah, we found carpet squares and the costume storage because this space also is costume storage for the theater, for Center for the Arts.
For decades of
Yes.
musical costumes.
So I would drape it in blankets and heavy coats, and carpet squares all abounded on the inside. And we've been recording in there, and I'm sure that the neighbors upstairs in Love Inc. have been wondering why I'm so loud on certain days, and it's been really super fun and like an amazing opportunity. So that's the big news, and then there's other news as well.
You don't have to make the other news feel good, okay? It's all right. It's all right. That was actual news. No, we're so proud of you. And, I feel like it's cool. Like it's novel to have like puppet voices in a podcast. It's really special.
Oh, it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
I can't even. I mean, I've my whole life have been wanting to have an opportunity to work on a show like Sesame Street that was so influential to me as a kid, and to be able to bring characters like that to life. And, the whole trajectory of my career has been working towards getting to do something like that. I was committed to, from the time that I left grad school in 2004, I said, I'm always going to work in puppetry. No matter what the job is, it has to be puppetry, or I'm not going to do it, not to be like, I didn't want anything to take me off course. I always wanted to be working in puppetry, and I am so grateful that everything that I've done till now has always been in some way, shape, or form related to puppetry. And what was that?
Hey there. This is there's a numerical keypad underneath here that I used to switch camera angles during live shows. I was your off course meeting, when you did a BFA in multimedia.
Yeah.
Not puppet related, but those skills have come in handy, let me tell you. Even now during this pandemic, It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been nice to have a background in computers. And I've always liked tech. And actually, what's funny is I really love this one podcast called This Week in Tech. It's like my nerdy geek out podcast I listen to every week, and it just makes me happy. I don't know. There's something about Leo Laporte's voice that's just like very soothing. And They always do a shout out to Audible every week, and they like pick a different book to showcase. And I'm going to email, I think, Leo Laporte and say, hey, I've been this listener for years and years and years, and my thing is going to get released on Audible on October 15th. And it would be so nice if you could do a little spot for that, because they get to pick what book each week, whatever they're into,
That's
to like,
true.
advertise in their spot for Audible. So I thought maybe they could advertise the podcast.
I wonder how old. Well, he has kids, but I think they're like older kids.
They are. They are older.
I'm guessing Leo Laporte likes Sesame Street, maybe, possibly.
My old friend Alex Provost, who lived on my street, is watching. Alex, hi! I haven't seen you in a million years, but it's so nice if you're actually watching. My phone says you are.
Ooh.
So it's so nice to see you, and I
Hey.
hope that you're doing well, and I hope your sister Andrea is doing well too.
You never know who the social media bubble is going to pull in next.
I know,
you
it's
did
exciting.
mention Leroy, and Facebook's always listening.
Oh,
so maybe like the little tentacles like bring other little people in. You know,
Maybe.
like you never know.
But
Like
who knows? Maybe I'll get a little spot in the local penny saver. It'll say "Small Town Girl does good." She got to host a podcast.
Well, what we haven't done. What we should do is
Sesame Street.
is we need to send the press release to our local paper, who
Oh, I
actually did a
know.
piece on us. He came here as Springville Journal,
Yes.
a very famous local paper. Every town should have one. Sometimes don't, actually. We drove through West Valley, and I was like, oh, yeah. What do they have in West Valley? It's like the next door neighbor
It was
here.
a really cute little town. It reminded me a lot
Super
of
cute.
Stafford, which is the town next to Leroy.
Right.
It's tiny.
There's a school and a post office
Mm-hmm.
and
a fire hall.
a fire
A very nice
firehouse.
firehouse.
Yep. But do they have a local paper? I don't know. But that's
I
what
don't know.
Springville has a lot going for. We got a hospital. We got dueling local papers, not just one but two. Our preference is the Springville Journal because it's been around for forever. And they came in and I believe it's a one-person operation at this point, and he's awesome. He's a young guy.
Yeah.
He's super nice.
So we should share it with them as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But it's very exciting, you guys. So I can't wait for October 15th. We have marked it on the calendar. There will be maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll all go out for ice cream that day or something. But it's exciting.
Yeah, our local ice cream place has opened back up. There's a lot of drama surrounding the ice cream place because sometimes
Who knows?
during this pandemic, Z has just come over and just said like, "Do you want to get some ice cream?" And the answer can't be no. It's yes.
Well, because it's right there. It's right there. I mean,
Yeah, so we crawl out of the basement down here and we walk around the corner and there's the ice cream place. It's a very famous local ice cream place. Like every town has an ice cream place. I know this is like their soft serve is so thick. It's like you could cut it
custard.
with a knife.
You don't call it soft serve out
Oh,
here. They call
excuse
it
me.
custard.
And it basically is. It is thicker than anything I'd ever gotten back in New York City.
It's
And it's like you could barely slip. But my test for chocolate shakes, because I love chocolate shakes, is if you could just barely slurp the shake through the straw to get to your mouth. Like if it's like a physical activity to get it up there, then we're talking.
That's when you
And
need a
it-
spoon.
I mean, or you could just wait a little bit. You could just wait a little bit, for it to cool down or to warm up a little bit. And it has to be made out of chocolate ice cream, and they do all those things here. It's legit out here. I don't know. Maybe I was just born and raised in this environment. That's what I dig. So we would go and get ice cream and socially distanced. There's like there's little lines taped onto the ground about where you're supposed to stand. Most people, besides us, disregarded those and didn't wear masks, most of them. So, we would just like hang out and wait and, enforce our own guidelines and rules. But after a while, it was kind of like a routine. Like every once in a while, you're feeling like the world is digging its heel into your head. You're like, let's go get ice cream. And we walk around to our favorite little bench and sit and eat ice cream and just, watch the world go by. And you can't do that in New York City where we lived. It's just not the same. Not the same vibe.
Yes, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be ice cream. It's gelato, like where we are.
That's true.
There's
It's a
no
very
ice
Italian
cream
neighborhood.
spaces.
So what would happen? What happened was suddenly the ice cream place is closed, and it's closed in July, which makes no sense.
The ice cream place here in
Yes.
Springville closed
Because-
randomly.
Because if you're an ice cream place, you're going to open May through like September, and like maybe if you're really desperate, you could stay on till like October. Like we had a local place in Astoria, an ice cream place that stayed on open till October, but that was because the business was winding down and she was just trying to get rid of stock and like make some extra bucks because she was selling the place. So we were like, why is it closed? Why is it closed? And then we heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true that they got shut down because they weren't the rumor was that somebody...
We are not spreading rumors, by the way.
No, so this may or may not be true. But why else would you shut down in the middle of the July unless you were forced to shut down?
Or they're going through a divorce, or we don't know. We just don't know
More
what's
rumors.
happening.
More rumors.
More rumors. We don't know anything except that they're back open now with better hours and all the flavors.
But when they were closed, there was a for rent sign, like the business had vacated, and we were like, whoa. The rumor was that they got shut down by the health department for not wearing masks or gloves while they were serving. And I was like, okay, that would make sense. Out of all the rumors swirling around the ice cream joint, that one made the most sense. I was like, oh, health violation. Okay, all right.
But then I also heard that their machinery was broken, and then they got it fixed. And that is a truth that I saw on the Be Neighborly Springville Facebook page.
Facebook is the truth
posted
among
by
truths.
the person who owns the dairy.
Oh, wow.
So truth.
Did you do a deep
Fact
dive
checking.
into that person's Facebook?
I tried to, but there was not much to see.
You never know who's a Russian bot or not. Dude, on my Facebook feed, true story, somebody, and I don't know this person, and if you're out there in Facebook land, I apologize if this was you, because just like people I used to know in high school, people are just in my feed on Facebook and I don't know them. But the names seem like familiar enough that I'm like, okay, it just makes somebody's posting something that I generally agree with. Somebody posted some misinformation, and I was, I am quick to quickly Google, is this true? And if it's not, I'm like, boom, here you go. That's right. You had this false thing about the jackalope being from one state and not another one. Bam, here it is.
What state's it from?
Oh, I don't know. Oh. But Arizona probably. No,
I thought it was Oklahoma.
Every month of every year,
Nebraska.
someone will repost a meme about the dates that apocalypse is supposed to happen in Terminator 2.
Oh.
Right? But it's always altered. Like, people just alter the meme and send it back out into the world. And it's harmless. But every time it's like, oh, yeah, here it is again. So somebody was spreading misinformation about cell phones causing cancer. And they were saying, which, by the way, they don't. You can Google this yourself, but all the research that has been done, like years and years and years of all this substantial research, points to no. Cell phones do not cause cancer. So this person was saying, if you have your cell phone, turn it on airplane mode, and if your kids have it, turn on airplane mode all the time in case you need to, just in case it might give you cancer. And by the way, they linked this website. Go to the website, right? It looks terrible. It is not like a good website. And I have designed websites. We are website people, and if the website looks crappy, the believability starts to water down. And then I'm like, okay, they linked scientific papers. I'm going to open one up. First one, boom. And I was reading the scientific paper, and in the summary, even in the very top, it says like what they set out to prove and what they are proving, and then in the middle, it's like, yeah, but because the people that we were surveying and watching use cell phones all the time, it would be impossible to actually find out if this is true. And I was like, ha ha, and I went back to there and was like, there you go, here it is. Here's a link to maybe the CDC or the American Cancer Society, something
Passionate
reputable.
Fact checking happening.
Dislike misinformation.
Sure.
And Facebook is just like a swamp where just sometimes you just like step your foot into it and it's like, oh God, really? Which one of my friends or Russian bots posing as somebody I know that got into my feed or something is posing bogus stuff about cell phones and cancer? And it's not just that. So it goes deeper than cell phones and cancer. Sorry if this is like a this is
we're
boring.
going on a little rant here. Okay,
It all
bring it back.
ties into 5G. Like There's been all these campaigns to get people scared about 5G for whatever reason, and this was a part of that too. And it didn't take long for me reading on this website about like cell phones cause cancer to find, oh, there it is, and 5G is coming, and you need to be afraid.
Well, there's all sorts of things to be afraid of. But Honey wants to know, do you like Snopes for fact checking?
Yeah, Snopes is pretty good because because Snopes checks around. But if you need to find out if something's misinformation or not, if somebody links you a website and says, here, I think this is true, and the website itself, the domain is cellphonescausecancer.com, probably not like I was saying, like, it's probably not going to be reputable information. Find different sources, Google a bunch of different sources, find what people say, read the scientific papers. I mean, there's so many different ways to inform yourself outside of Facebook, because if you just take a headline at face value, you're going to get scared and you're going to internalize information that may or may not be true. So
we're all just going to do our research, and Chad.
That's right.
Chad has outed himself as a passionate fact checker. So we're excited to know that about you.
How can I feel like maybe people can relate. I mean,
I just don't see a lot of misinformation in my feed. But then again, I'm just not in Facebook land as much as I was. So.
We are in the misinformation age. We have a misinformation president.
I feel like most of my friends don't really post stuff like that.
And me neither. And I didn't want to go into this person's history and see, do I actually know them or not? So I'm very neutrally, because you don't want to be rude and say you're wrong. To get somebody to get on your side if they believe some misinformation is to ask questions. So I was just asking questions. They're like, hey, did you read the scientific studies? Like, oh, hey, I noticed this. Have you been to this website? And you think after 30 years of having websites, anyway, I'm writing this in the notes. Chad talks about this stuff for way too long. So anyway, we were on the ropes course today.
We were, and it was super fun. I'd never done a ropes course before. It was at Holiday Valley in Ellicottville, and they have zip lines, rope course, and this like sled type of thing. What do you call it again?
A coaster.
Like a sled coaster that I thought did not even exist in the United States. I've seen YouTube videos of people doing them in like the Czech Republic and Finland and Germany and places, but I didn't know you could do it here in the States. It feels so Euro. So it was very exciting to get to be on my little sled and, control it with my brake and everything. And it was like, it almost felt a little dangerous, which I enjoyed. And for a little while there was a window of time when I was not thinking about anything stressful. And I have to say that was a gift, and it was an amazing time. And it was so nice to get to spend it with you and to get to do something with you that was not work and that didn't have the kids and that wasn't, around. It had nothing to do with puppets or parenting or anything. It was just a ropes course, and it was super, super fun.
Yay. And we did, I don't know if this is what you call it, but we did a mask kiss where you kiss and you have masks on.
Does that make us weird? Maybe.
I don't know. This is the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see old-timey photos of people, like, nuzzling with the masks on. Like,
so let's talk about, like, unsure moments. So I kept on the ropes course. I kept my mask on as we were doing it, but then it's like kind of like a high moisture day today because there was a lot of fog on the way to the ropes course, and you're in these kind of mountainous zones because it's usually a ski resort. And so it's my nose is like running a little bit because it's like a lot of moisture happening behind my mask, and my glasses are fogging up even more than normal. So I took my glasses off, I kept the mask on, we're doing the ropes course, and then about halfway through I'm looking around and everyone is so spread out. There's no real lines, you're not really waiting around with other people, and no one else is wearing masks. And I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna take my mask off. And I did, and it was nice to not have it on. But then I kept feeling like, oh, is this the right choice? I'm not sure. Then there was no real signage that I remember seeing about saying that you had to keep your mask on the whole time.
Yeah, but I don't need a sign to know, that
But you also took your mask off.
We made the decision
Yeah.
at like 45 feet up in the trees. Because you asked, you were like, hey, I'm going to take my mask off.
Yeah.
And we looked around and there's nobody around.
There's nobody around.
We stuck on courses for the most part that didn't have like people on them. So there was like 6 courses that took you up in the trees and then over and around and up and down and
They were
everything.
long. I mean, I thought it was just going to be like a couple apparatuses per course, but it was like a lot of different things that you could explore and do.
It took us like 50 minutes to get through the first one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was a lot of, although we were pros by the end.
Oh,
there was
click
a
on,
lot of
click
like,
off.
yep. So you're strapped into you're wearing a harness, like a climbing harness, and you have 3 things. You have 2 clips that have like a tension wire or something in between them. So you
some
can
kind
only
of
open
mech.
up one, and then you have to lock it in, and then the other one opens. So both aren't open at the same time.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's very safe.
And then you also have something for zip lines, like this other doohickey. What do they call it?
Oh, I don't know, remember, but it goes on for the zip line.
Yeah, so you have like a zip line device and 2
Yeah.
clips, and so it's like you clip onto the safety harness to like the safety rope around the tree, the steel rope.
Yeah.
Then you take one of those off and clip it onto the rope, the steel line that's going to take you across in between trees.
Yeah.
And click the thing, and so it locks. And then you take the other one off of the safety line, and then you put that onto the actual line, and
It's a lot
then
of
you
clicking.
can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it felt very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe and secure. And I only had 2 moments of feeling like that feeling, you know the feeling. I mean, if you've ever had like a fear of anything, like where it just like really got to you. And I wasn't afraid of the height or anything, except for this one point where I was on the flat platform, and it was early on, where I was clicking and unclicking to like get from one apparatus to the other, and the platform felt small. And then all of a sudden in my stomach, I was like, and then I just thought, stop thinking about it. Just click, just do the thing. Get on the next apparatus. You're not thinking about anything when you're on the apparatus. You're just thinking about getting across. Just get across.
Yes.
So, and then the last thing that we did was like this trust jump where you jump out and then this rope is going to...
Wait, we got to set it up.
Okay, set it up.
We're on the end of a second ropes course. We went from regular difficulty to intermediate difficulty. So we'd done all these zip lines that were like hundreds of feet long. We were like clipping ourselves to ropes to climb down these ladders, climb up ladders. And then finally we get towards the end, and there's a bottleneck where there's a whole family of like 5 people, and they're not moving because the father of the family and they have like teenage
John.
kids. John,
John,
we
we
learned,
found out his name.
He's at the
so we
end of
could
the
cheer
course,
him on.
and he doesn't know what to do. And we had just crossed a huge zip line, and we're getting chained up to get to the next tree, to go to the second next tree, and there's John, and he's this, he's like my age. He's big, buff-looking dude, and
healthy.
he is scared.
He looks healthy and in
he's
shape.
scared out of his mind because he's looking around and he's like, "Hey guys, can you help me with this? I don't see anywhere to go."
It's just a line hanging down from a branch and then nothing.
Yeah.
And then you look down and there's like an outline of like a box, like with some white cords.
Yep, it's just like there is a space down there for you to land, and there's a device. There's a round device just hanging there, and it says automatic belay. And he's like, "Look, I know what an automatic belay does. I've used these. I've gone bungee jumping. I've gone skydiving, and I'm clipped to this already, but I can't jump off this thing. I just can't."
Without seeing somebody else do it.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Who's done one of these?" And this kid behind us was like, "My mom did it."
And then I said, "Is she still alive?" And he said, "Yes."
Yeah,
So we cheered John on.
We cheered him on. Oh, it was hard for poor John because, it's like he hadn't seen anybody do it.
Yeah.
He knew in his rational mind
cheeks hurt from
that it was
smiling.
supposed, that he knows what to do, but a big part of him was like, "Don't do it, you're going to die." And let me tell you, that's exactly what it feels like to have a panic attack. Exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a terrible place. And I mean, I did not have a panic attack on the ropes. But I knew in that moment, I was like, oh, poor man. And I was like, that is not going to be me. I know exactly. I have a strategy. We had to talk John into doing it. So his family, us, the kid behind us, Z was like, what's your name? John. She's like, John, you can do it. John, you can do it. We're like, come on, John, come on. I don't know if that was good or bad, but, we're trying something. And
it was super fun.
Eventually, after a few minutes, he did it, and he was so scared. And then after 2 feet of just a straight drop, like, it just, boop,
it just slows you
kicks
down.
in. The automatic belay kicks in. And he's like, oh, and then he just had this disappointed look.
That's it.
Yeah, he's just like floating down with this big frown, like, oh, that was so anticlimactic.
But he did it.
He did it,
and
everybody who came after him, had him to thank, because he was the first. He was the first gazelle to leap into the crocodile-infested creek. He was the first penguin, to jump into the sea lion-infested waters. He did it. And he was braver than all of us, because we saw what happened, and we were preparing ourselves for the fear. So wherever you are, John, great job.
I'll tell you, even though I saw John do it, it was still really hard to do. It was really, really hard.
Yeah. Oh, and honey, yes, there was no going backwards. there was a couple trees back.
Yeah.
There was a point where you could just zip line out, but if you didn't know that, like John didn't know, and there's once you get to the platform where you have to go down, it's only 3 people to a platform, and there's already a person with him, and 2 more people are coming on the way. So no, there was no chance for him to go back. And we pointed out the zip line, and he said, I can't quit. So
he did it.
Yeah, he did it.
And we all did it. It was hard. It was really hard to jump off, even for me. And I was having a lot of fun until when I saw that that's the last thing. I have a fear of just jumping from things. It's hard for me. I don't know what that's about, but it just feels like that is not what your body's supposed to be doing. You're supposed to stay safe, not jump off of something. But somehow I did. I had to sit down though. I couldn't just leap off like running into the wind or something. I had to sit down and then boost myself off that way, because that's how I was able to do it.
Hey there, a little number pad again. Tony says, first lemming for the run off the cliff. Have you ever jumped off a cliff into the water?
I don't think I would be able to do it.
I do not recommend it, because you could seriously injure yourself, because you cannot see what's under the water. Having said that, my dad did that once on our trip in Maine. He was like, this looks like a good idea, and just did it to get us all to do it. And then we did it for hours and hours and hours, and it was a blast. But if there was a rock down there, he would have been dead. So I knew from that experience that the longer it takes for you to commit to going, the harder it is.
Right.
I
almost
didn't
do
back.
it. I did.
You told me twice.
Yes.
You were like, I can't do it. I'm going back.
And I'm the person who's given birth without medication, to 2 kids. So.
Well, that was 9 months of getting ready.
Yeah. I definitely don't dive into the pool. I slowly inch my way in and then go underwater eventually. No, but it was super, super fun. We had a great time. I was so glad to do it. So I highly recommend, if you're in the Western New York area and you want to check out Holiday Valley and all their off-season offerings, it was super fun. And it felt very safe and socially distant and outdoors. Yeah. And if you're tuning in and you haven't heard the amazing announcement, I just have to say it again.
Wait. I want to end the story with...
what?
So here's the strategy. If you're faced with a situation, just jump off. Just jump. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just go. Just go and don't stop, because that's the only way you're getting out of there.
Do you rip the Band-Aid off?
Yes, I ripped the Band-Aid right off.
I take it off very slowly. Yeah. It's okay to have different methods.
If I don't, it's going to hurt way more.
Yeah, I can handle the slow hurt.
I can't handle a ton of fear. It shuts me down.
Yeah.
And I saw John going through it, and I was like, nope.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we got through it. It was super,
super
fun.
Big announcement again.
Well, there's 13 people tuning in right now, so I just want to make
Wow.
sure that people
That's a lot of people.
know how I know for us double digits. Woo! I just want people to know what the big announcement was. If you haven't heard,
Yes.
I am the new lead character for this podcast that's being released through Sesame Street and Audible, called Sesame Street Podcast with Foley and Friends, and I am Foley. I'm the host of the podcast, so very exciting.
You did it.
I did it. I did it.
Yay.
So-
And we've been recording right here in the studio. Mm-hmm. That's right. We got the tools.
Yeah,
And we
small
got the
town
know.
girl does good. You guys.
Well, could you do the voice?
You know what? I'm hesitant to do it. After it's released, maybe.
Okay.
But I don't want to. There's a little clip on the Today Show.
Yeah.
you can
Some
listen
some
to.
puppeteers, like we just have the one voice. Like it's just us, but a little sillier.
It's still new. Also, not to make excuses, but it's like
That's okay.
it's. I have to get into it a little bit still first because it's still a very new voice. I haven't totally found like my phrase. I thought I had found my phrase that like makes it immediate, but it's still not immediate. So I need to be able to find the thing that I say in my head or kind of say quietly to myself that can make it just turn on into that voice.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I wanted to ask you that because every voice actor who's ever lived has gotten that question. As soon as somebody finds out that they're that voice, they're like, do something in the voice. Do the voice. Do the thing.
I know. So I have to start practicing it in front of at least a couple people because so far I've only ever done it alone by myself in this booth to a microphone with voices in my head from like the Sesame team talking to me and telling me.
Yeah. Does
that
Foley
sounded
have
good.
a catchphrase? Probably not at this point.
I think that she likes to say totally a lot.
Yeah, totally.
Like that. It's a little like that. But I don't want to say that was her because it's almost like I'm not totally even, like I have to get into it for a minute or two. But it sounds a lot like my voice, but like revved up and a little bit of growl in it because she's a monster.
Right.
So,
So if there was ever a Foley
exciting.
toy, just saying, you pushed its belly or a hand or something, it would say totally, or
well, I don't know, but she's really cool. She's got a lot going on. She loves hosting this podcast, and I don't know. I'm going to talk to Sesame PR next week about the things that I'm allowed to say and not allowed to say. But I guess I'm
Word.
allowed to say that I'm Foley, so I'm telling you that I'm Foley, and it's
Yay.
very exciting. And October 15th, just like Missy Brodsky is posting right there in the chat, October 15th. Mark that date as the day that Audible is going to be releasing it. And if you're not a member of Audible, you can always sign up for a 30-day free trial and get to hear all the podcast episodes.
Just saying, if there was a kid's toy for Foley, it would be one of those recording toys where you record your own voice and it makes it sound silly. Just saying, Sesame Street, that's for free. Just
That's
take
brilliant.
that.
That's a really good
we were
idea.
in the toy section of Walmart the other day, and Walmart has like a clearance section for toys, and we saw some things in there, projects that our friends have been involved in the clearance aisle, and we're like, oh, it's a bad sign.
Oh, yeah.
And you related.
Well, I remember shortly after I moved to Connecticut for grad school at UConn, I was in this place called Ocean State Job Lot, which is a lot like Big Lots. It's like, they get things at discount that aren't selling from other big box stores, and then they sell them. And there was a whole bunch of stuff from Between the Lions at Ocean State Job Lot, and I was like, oh no, you guys. Like, you never want to see your friends' toys for the characters that they're performing at Ocean State Job Lot, because that's not a good sign. It means that they didn't sell. So,
Yeah, and it wasn't just one character. It wasn't just the unpopular character. It was like all the characters from this
I know,
project. And we're
I
like,
know.
oh, yeah.
but we the show continued on, but I think the toys toys didn't have a good turnaround. But the show did continue on in a lot of different ways. So
We always say in the video game or anime world, a good indicator if something is going to be crazy mega popular is how much fan art there is. If there's fan art and fan stories, this is how we knew that early that My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, was going to be like a crazy mega hit, was because people were just tripping over themselves spending money on fan merchandise. And like there's been some online documentaries that go into it, but like the amount of money being spent for fan created merchandise in the early days of Friendship is Magic was so insane that like, you know, like the cash in was inevitable, you know, and now there's just like toys after toys after toys of that like specifically for older male fans. Like they had this whole line of toys called Guardians of Harmony where nobody smiled. And it's like a show for little girls, and like all the characters were like, you know, in these action poses, and there's no like it didn't come with hair that you could pet and braid and anything. No, it was like it looked like the cartoon, all the things that the older male demographic loves about silly cartoon toys that cost $100.
Well, that was a special series. We watched the first couple seasons of My Little Pony and enjoyed it very much.
We did, and I just can't believe. I mean, early on, there was an episode about racism, and we were like, "Whoa, this is amazing! I can't believe you just talked about that in such a smart and clever way." Where like a zebra comes into town, and everyone's like, "Eep, a zebra!" Ah, and runs away just because she looked different. And I was like, "Oh man, that's so smart."
It was
so smart. Lauren Faust is so smart.
Yeah. Lauren Smart and Craig McCracken.
Craig and Kraken did the Powerpuff Girls.
I know, but they're married and like powered couple.
Yeah, dude.
Right there. Yeah, they're both
now they're
amazing.
working on this show that we have not seen.
What show?
The show called Wander Over Yonder.
Oh, we got to watch it.
Yeah.
They're so great.
Well, now there's been a bunch of seasons, so we got a lot of catching up to do.
I'm behind, which is no surprise.
Well, she is.
I'm so behind in pop culture, like all the time.
Lauren Faust also, if you're looking for stuff that's awesome, she created, like, you know how DC superhero girls is a big thing?
Yes.
We, our kids and us, read the graphic novels for DC superhero girls.
They're so good.
I was at Comic-Con the year they like released information about it. It was amazing. It's also a show.
Oh, it's a show?
It was a show first, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I really liked the comics.
Yeah, and the comics, everyone's so supportive, and it's really smart and great writing, and it's all girls all the time. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lauren Faust was the first person to take established characters and kind of show them in a new light. She was the first one to be like, you know what, Wonder Woman should be Latina. Ba-boom, give her darker skin and a Spanish accent, thank you. And I feel like that's where that character's going. And Supergirl, she's like, let's make her like beefy, like a real country girl, because she's supposed to be really strong. But in every iteration, she's like this skinny, petite, you know, like 80s Barbie doll. She was like, no, give her some thick thighs and a country accent, you know. And I think she had Batgirl in there too. And she's like, have Batgirl be the smart one, you know. And the dynamic of Batgirl smart, Supergirl not so smart but really powerful, has like gone places, and it's especially prevalent in this series. And there's been like outside of there's like another series that's like inspired by or co-created by those initial shorts that she did. Anyway, if you don't know about Lauren Faust, she's amazing, and you need to look up her work. There's so much great writing happening in kids' cartoons nowadays.
We've been really enjoying, what is that show called? Big City Greens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that show too. I just found out about it. I'm sure it's been around for forever.
No, it's pretty new.
Oh, is it pretty new? Okay. Because we've been watching it late night on Disney, and that's been super fun to watch that show too. I wouldn't. It's not necessarily for young kids, but I would be okay with our kids watching it because there wasn't anything in there that I felt like crossed a line for me. Whereas I can't say that about some of the other like cartoons that are more geared towards an older audience.
I'm gonna look up who did that show, and you will say, "Oh,
will I? Oh,
maybe," because you know, like not unlike films and movies, cartoon directors just go from project to project, and you can see their amazing influence.
Well, it was really good. I really like it, and I've been enjoying it very much.
Just looking at their character designs reminds me of a couple different things.
Absolutely.
So
it totally is reminiscent of other stuff, but I just think that the writing is really funny. And just, I guess the overall direction is just really, they ride the line well. So we've been enjoying that very much. We should also talk about, before the end of the episode today, about our new schedule for the fall and what's happening with that.
I know. It's kind of like... Here,
Put the phone down,
I was looking for Big City Greens, the cast and crew, and it's hard to find. No, the almost sad truth is that because our kids are not going back to school, and everyone else's kids are going back to school, whether in person or streaming, the interest and need for what we have been doing from the spring to the summer has kind of evaporated for now. So we made sure to change up what we were doing, but always staying super duper consistent throughout every single week. We streamed every single day for a number of, I don't know how long, maybe over 100.
We've done a lot.
Yeah. So a
Since March.
couple of things have wound down. Christina Rodriguez kind of wound down because she didn't have time to do any more People of Power episodes, which we were rebroadcasting. We ran out of interviewees for Mystery Max Investigates.
We're in the midst of scheduling more, but it's been a little tough at this time of year to pin people down in terms of scheduling.
And, we both of them hit 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And that's a great run.
Yep.
And I'm really proud of all the work that we did, that Christina did. And we're hitting Labor Day, and everyone is going back to school probably next week-ish. So
if they're not already in school, a lot of kids have already started school.
Thanks to Facebook, all the data out there about exactly who watches your things, how old they are, where they live, it's all available to creators. And so I'm looking at the graph. I was looking at the graph the other day about how many people were watching then versus now, and it's basically one of these beep, 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 beep. We haven't. We offered a ton of stuff. We had over 100 DIY puppetry workshops. We were doing puppet shows every single Friday at 11 o'clock. But now getting burned out on screens is totally a thing, especially with young kids.
Screen fatigue.
And a lot of our target audience is now going to be in school during the hours that we had operated. So we were kind of debating, do we want to change? Do we want to go for the afternoons with our stuff? But then since there's screen fatigue, a lot of people are going to be doing streaming school all day, probably don't want to watch anything else, or if they do, it'll be totally unrelated to school. So we are focusing our energies in other places. One is we have to be with our kids when we do streaming school. Yeah. So we have the opportunity to be actively engaged at times, hopefully most of the time, when both of our kids are going to be doing streaming school. So that's where our energies have to lie. And because of that, it feels if we wound things down other places, which naturally was winding down anyway, maybe this is the universe, or, just the collective, just telling good job, good what you did. We don't need you anymore right now. We can, Batman, we can slink off into the night until we're needed again, until the puppet signal gets put in the air, and then we'll swoop in and be we're here. Yeah, who needs it? Here it is. Yeah, puppet shows.
But we still want to partner with teachers and students, and we still want to be doing private shows and all that, and we're going to continue to do that, and we're going to continue to do weekly DIY workshops. We're still figuring out the dates and times for when those will be. But those have also been, it's been a win-win for everybody, too, because it's really challenged me and our other co-creators to come up with new ideas and new ways of creating DIY puppets out of simple materials. And I've definitely come up with things I didn't even know I would think of, for DIY workshops. So, and also we just kind of need to organize everything that we have done since March, because it's been so busy that we haven't really had a chance to organize all that into a really useful resources for teachers and other people who might want to utilize what we have done so far. So we're going to take this time, kind of be introspective for the month of September, And we'll still be doing the podcast. We're still going to do, like I said, the DIY workshops. And Chad has one more live show that he's going to do next Friday. And then after that, we will be kind of focusing our efforts, I believe, also around holidays. And trying to bring some love and light to all these different holidays that we all look forward to celebrating, but then this year we might have to celebrate in different ways. So we want to be able to be a place that you guys can come to find new ideas and make new memories, with us.
Yay.
Yeah.
So like Z said, I'll be, my dream is to, because I'm a Fulbright specialist, waiting in the wings for international borders to open up again so I can apply to places, to train myself and to get this knowledge out there. I'll be starting up a video series of short videos with practical exercises to make people better puppeteers, specifically for teachers, other puppeteers, whoever needs this information, but we'll be focusing on people who we really feel like could benefit from this knowledge, applying it to a streaming situation or a classroom situation, and try Googling techniques for traditional non-moving mouth hand puppetry, and you will get nothing. So I feel like there's a void that we'll be filling with that one, and it's also nice just to think really hard about okay, you have this skill, but how do you teach the skill? How do you show somebody through a classroom exercise how to do what you do? So that's been really fulfilling, filling out the spreadsheets of all these different little ideas. So get ready for some of that. If that interests you as a puppeteer,
And
let us know.
Also, I plan to hopefully offer maybe once a month an evening puppetry course for parents that you can take to learn how to integrate puppets into your home and into the into ways to communicate and motivate your kids. There's a lot of different ways that you can utilize puppets, and then from there we can even offer some one-on-one coaching sessions. So these are some of the ideas of things that we're thinking about, because we're always thinking about what do people need right now, and how can we meet that need? And I think that those might be, we have to constantly be changing and pivoting. That's the buzzword, right? When we first started this podcast, we said that was the word of the day, pivot. Mm-hmm. We have to constantly be kind of double checking to see is if what we're offering the thing that people need right now. And it feels like it's the thing that that changing is the thing that people needs, and acknowledging that the holidays will be different, and that we want to be able to offer ideas to help continue to make those special moments feel special, and that we have some knowledge about puppets that might be helpful for you guys if you're having a tough time at home. I know especially parents with kids with special needs or developmental delays or emotional disturbances. There's a lot of things that puppets can offer in terms of a little bit of a breather and a respite and a bridge for communication. And so we want to be able to offer that. And these are courses that I've taught in person over the last few years. And so I'm happy to bring that to a new online platform. So we're going to pick out some dates and start to let people know about when that might be. But I think after bedtime, that's my guess. So that you can put your kids to bed and then come and do an hour to an hour and a half long course about puppetry.
Yay. Well, it looks like we got one person. Looks like Alyssa will be there. Thanks, Alyssa.
We love you,
Thanks
Alyssa.
for the vote of confidence, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah. Is dude a non-gendered term? I keep trying to feel like it is. But
I do say dude for everybody, but that's just me. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, our son seems to takes offense that I use dude sometimes. So. Oh. Yeah.
Well, we haven't talked a lot about parenting this week, and I just want to, mention parenting stuff. So, fellow parents out there, we are about to dive into the full-time remote learning on September 14th. That's our first day. And full disclosure, I'm not even going to be there for the first day of online learning, because I had planned to drive back to New York City on the 13th and pick up some stuff and then get, remember, Righty needed my right boob needed to get a mammogram.
You just said righty.
Oh, righty. Whatever. One of them needs to get a mammogram follow-up because I had something going on and they want to check it out. But I don't even remember what it was because they told me not to worry about it, and it was April, and I was so worried about everything else that I was like, fine, I'm not worrying about it. And then I didn't. And now here we are, September, and I have to get it checked out again. So I made my appointment to get a mammogram and also to get my teeth cleaned, and I'm also going to get a flu shot all on September 14th, which ended up being the kids' first day of school. I did not plan that, but this is just the way it is. So,
are you gonna get it all done at the same time, like
just lay there,
toothbrush and a boob clamp and
do all the things. No, but I'm gonna drive from one thing to another thing to another thing, and just like bam, 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 then drive back to Springville.
You're a trooper, man. I couldn't make that drive twice in a row. It's crazy.
It's fine if you have enough good podcasts and audiobooks and friends that you haven't gotten to talk to.
I wonder how people listen to us outside of Facebook, outside of live chats.
I know that my friend Stacy said she listened to the podcast in the car.
Yay.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
I think people do listen, and if you do listen, you want to give us a little 5-star rating in iTunes, that's nice.
Right.
It's helpful. Other people might find us and then relate.
Or Spotify or any of the number of places you can find us. So once again, ladies and gentlemen,
wait. No, don't wrap it up yet. I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I know, but I'm actually not done saying my thing yet. So what I wanted to say is that just adding on to the list of how things are not normal, I can't believe I'm going to miss the kids' first day of school.
Oh, right.
And that's like, that's not a good feeling for me, and I'm a little sad and bummed about that. Also, our younger child, it's his very first day of kindergarten. What's that going to look like? He's going to be sitting in front of an iPad kind of for half the day, and then I have like the levels of anxiety about like how this is all going to work out are high. I mean, why? There should be no anxiety because, like, we're very safe out here. We're doing their full remote and everything. But it's more like, are my kids going to be cool? Is this going to work out? Do we need to get them comfortable chairs to sit in because they're going to be sitting for long periods of time? Is the space that we're sharing and we've been given from the Springville Center for the Arts going to be utilized when we need it in the afternoons? Like, there's all these things that's like, oh my God, we had a really great ride over the summer and now things are changing. And I think I'm just having like big feelings about change.
Yeah,
more change.
Transitions are hard, But you know what? Once we get through the transition period, once everyone inevitably does 100% streaming, and they will,
we'll see.
in my mind.
We'll see.
Or at least, we will.
No predictions here.
That is my prediction. I feel like it's just like inevitable. Everyone will do it because it's like how many sick people, without going too far into it, like how many sick people is it going to take? We need to talk about more about that after this because I just had a good idea.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
okay,
I was like, they're going to be sitting there for a while. We need to set up some obstacle courses, and have like a dance party or something like during like lunch hour so that they're moving around. Yeah. So anyway, now
we'll let you know how it goes, everybody. But I just wanted to touch on that. So we talked about puppets and we talked about parents and the kids are doing well overall, but we have the second iPad arriving on September 9th. It's supposed to come, and I just hope that it's a lot. It's a lot. And we miss Astoria, by the way. We miss Queens in New York City. And there's a fire alarm.
It's the podcast police. We've gone too long. The podcast police are coming. Quickly plug the website. So we need to log off.
Visit puppetparentpodcast.com. If you like this kind of online content, you want to know more about our puppetry company, wondersparkpuppets.com. Oh, and I always have to say, because I can't forget, that it's important that I also tell you that I also have another job, that the puppetry company isn't my only job. I also work for a foundation called the Jim Henson Foundation, and thank you so much. And Cheryl Henson is the president of that. Okay, so I think that's it for today.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out Foley and Friends releasing on October 15th from Sesame Street and Audible.
They got a couple months to.
No, they don't. It's like 1 month. 1 month.
Oh,
October
you're
15th.
right. September already.
Yeah, dude.
You got 1 month.
Mark that calendar.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. You can hear me in my
You
puppet
as
voice.
a purple monster.
That's right.
With cool green hair.
Woohoo.
Who knows, man? Maybe in 50 years you'll still be doing that character.
Who knows?
I mean,
Who knows?
Who knew Rosita was gonna last?
But Carmen does such an amazing job with her.
I'm not saying because it's bad or anything. I'm just saying that like when that character was introduced, I was like, okay, awesome, cool, Spanish speaking character, and now that's like one of the core Muppet characters
She's
or Sesame
so important.
characters. So yeah,
Representation, people, representation.
Word.
So, all right. Well, thank you all so much, and we will see you next Sunday.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.